Well, dear students of 12th medical group, I am your botanist sir, and today we will continue with our pre-fertilization events, and the second one of them is the gamete transfer. First one we have already discussed, that was gametogenesis or gamete formation. And stay keen now. After the formation of male and female gametes, these are to be brought together physically to facilitate fusion. This means that the gametes have to fuse together. In majority of the organisms, male gamete is motile, that is, it is capable of movement, and the female gamete is stationary. Female gamete being larger in size and remains static or stationary. In some lower algae and fungi, both male and female gametes are motile. They are somewhat iso-similar in size and shape. Thus, a medium is required so that the male gametes can move. Simple plants like algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes use water as a medium for transfer of gametes. The number of male gametes produced is several thousand times the number of female gametes, as most of the male gametes are not capable of reaching the female gamete. Since a large number of the male gametes fail to reach the female gametes. The carriers of male gamete in seed plants are pollen grains, and ovule have the egg. Pollen grains produced in anthers have to be transferred to reach the stigma before it can lead to fertilization. In bisexual, self-fertilizing plants like peas, the pollen grain transfer from anther to stigma is relatively easy because anthers and stigma are located close together. This event is called the self-pollination. In case of cross-pollinating plants, a special event called pollination facilitates transfer of pollen grains from anthers to stigma. This process of pollination is to be dealt in detail lately, inshallah. Pollen grain, after reaching the stigma, germinates and the pollen tube carrying the male gamete reach the ovule and discharge male gametes near the egg. In dioecious animals, special mechanism for gamete transfer is required since male and female gametes are formed in separate organisms. The most critical event in sexual reproduction is fertilization, for which successful transfer of male gametes and coming together with the female gametes is essential. Now, this is the third event in pre-fertilization events, that is fertilization. Fusion of the gametes is most vital event in sexual reproduction. That is what we mean by fertilization. The process called syngamy is also called as syngamy. It results in the formation of zygote. Generally, the term fertilization is used for the process that is the fusion of gametes. However, in some organisms, the female gamete undergoes development to form new organisms without fertilization. This phenomenon is called parthenogenesis. For example, in rotifers, honeybees, and some lizards and birds like turkey. And this parthenogenesis is to be dealt in detail during our course of these lectures for the plants, because there are plants which produce the fruits through parthenogenesis. And syngamy in aquatic organisms like algae and fish and amphibians occur in the external medium, that's water, and it is outside the body of organism. This type of gametic fusion is called external fertilization. A large number of gametes are released to enhance the chances of syngamy. A synchrony between sexes is seen, that is, the individuals producing male and the female gametes are somewhat similar in shape and size. But the disadvantage in this case is that the offspring produced are vulnerable to predators who threaten their survival up till their adulthood. Bony fishes and frogs produce a very large number of offsprings. The majority of plants, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms, and also some terrestrial organisms belonging to fungi, reptiles, birds, mammals, syngamy occurs inside the body of the organism. Hence, the process is called internal fertilization. In all such organisms, the egg is formed inside the body of organisms, that is within the female body, where they fuse with male gametes. Usually, for internal fertilization, the male gamete is motile and reach the egg to fuse with it. In seed plants, the non-motile gametes are carried to female gamete by pollen tubes. Thanks.